Sekey easily has one of the best utility carts on the market, and I can attest to it because I have one of my own. But today, I'm actually holding one of the wagon handles in my hand. This is my own wagon I purchased with my own money, and I'm not sponsored. Unfortunately, the handle actually pulled out of its slot on me while I was pulling it. Now, I have the big 48-inch wagon, and while I was utilizing this wagon, I pulled it, and as you can see here at the bottom, it just pulled itself out, and it left behind a piece of metal and a spring. And I was trying to figure out if that was something that was important that I might need, or is it severed off. It didn't seem to be severed off or broken or cracked or anything like that where I had to purchase another part, but I didn't know. So I essentially just pulled it, and it pulled out of its slot like that. Now, with those two pieces, I picked them up off the ground. As you can see, one's like a little spring and one's like a little T-bolt, and they pretty much just fit in with each other. But they were out on the ground separately. So if this happens to you, pick these two up because you're going to need them. I'm going to show you guys how to fix what just happened here. So mainly these are the 3 to 4 tools that you would need. Now you do need a standard Phillips screwdriver here. Now this screwdriver is the standard T-shaped screwdriver. I have a Milwaukee one, but you can just have a standard size regular one from any other brand. It would work. Most companies, most hardware companies have this ready to go. Mine's seen a battle or two and it looks scuffed up, but as you can see, you can use this for the job as well. The next thing on the list is you're going to need some pliers. Now I have a multi-tool. This multi-tool was at your local AutoZone, or I want to say any hardware place that has multi-tools like this. And as you can see, it flips out and shows you what we call pliers. Now these pliers can grab onto most anything that has a nut on it, in which we will be using today. But this also has like a knife section and a couple of other things that help you pry at, different surfaces. I'm going to use this little knife portion as well. I'm touching the blade, but I know it's not that sharp. And I also have these protective nitrile gloves on. But you can do it however you want to. Just be safe. I'm not responsible for your equipment, your process or anything, but the pliers really help here. As you can see, they're really nifty, and they're really needle nose like. They're not official needle nose pliers, but get some pliers. They will work, especially if they're thin and they can fit into confined areas. So yeah, and this is of course the handle that came off. You want to have it in one piece. It's pretty sturdy, so most people are going to have it in one piece already. And of course, with that black end, this is the black end that slid out of the slot. And you're going to need that intact as well. And this is the red button that comes with the wagon. And those are the two parts that broke, the spring and the metal piece. I don't know what to call that metal piece, but it looks like a little T-washer. All right, for those of you who still have the red piece stuck in the wagon, the red button that adjusts your handle, you want to go ahead and slide that out. Now, this red button is actually slid in there. All you have to do is lift it up and slide it downward. So all you have to do is lift it up and slide it downward, but you're going to have to lift it up and pry it up with a really thin piece of metal, something like a little, I want to say a knife, like the one I have on my utility thing. I'm going to be using it on my utility knife set here. And what this will do is this will lift it away from its little section there. And when it lifts it away from its section, what I'll be able to do is pull it down. You just want that little tab to lift off of the red, and then you push it down. Pull it away from the tab, and you can just slide it down just like that. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to go to the lower portion of the wagon where the front tires are. Above the front tires, there is a screw that looks like the screwdriver that you have, your Phillips screwdriver. It's a Phillips screw, and attached onto the back of it is a nut. So it looks like a machine screw, kind of like it's not, I wouldn't call it a bolt, but it's more like a machine screw. So you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to need somebody or your second hand to hold that nut in place on the back with the pliers. Now notice that if you just try to turn it with the Phillips screwdriver, that the bolt on the back side will spin with it. It will not come off just by spinning it. You're going to have to hold it and spin it. use 2 hands or a partner or something like that. And that's why these thin needle nose type pliers come in handy, because I can slide it right through the slot. Now, you don't have to slide it through the slot. It just makes it a little bit easier, especially for this video. Real simple. Now, once you get the nut off on one side, it's going to want to try to come off and make it kind of difficult for the opposite side. So you might want to be careful with how you take off the next one if you're not taking them off at the same time, which I assume for most people won't be the case. Now, what you want to do is, since that whole kind of T-bracket or steering bracket is starting to fall off, you want to go ahead and lay it on the ground. You want to make sure that it stops moving enough for you to grab hold of the nut and the machine screw and pull it back. Now, here's a top tip for those of you who are mechanics and know that if you have a bolt and a screw that goes together, and you have a lot of bolts and screws that go together, you want to put them together. Put them together so you'll know that they go back together and they don't get lost, especially if you have big hands and you're working with small screws or small nuts and bolts. You want to put them together so you'll know that, hey, these are going to be together and these go back together when you put it back together, because guess what? We're going to have to put it back together. So right now I have the entire handle assembly on the operating table, and I want to make sure everything is facing the correct way so I'm not struggling and forcing myself to do something the wrong way. Right now I can see the handle is the correct way. It has the all the rivets faced up, and more importantly, right there in the middle of the handles, right where they connect, the top part is showing a nice little, I want to say, key style indentation in the plastic, and the bottom portion of the stem here has the slot for the red button facing upward, so I can see both of those. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to take that bottom part of the handle, that plastic piece that's on the end of the bottom section, and you want to rotate it and pull it off. You want to rotate it and pull it off. Now, this portion is the hardest thing you will ever do, because essentially, listen very carefully, it has 2 plastic indentions on the inside. They look like circles. They're like circular indentions. They are inside the metal of the tube. You need to push those plastic indentions outward. And once you push them outward, you'll see that there's some slightly bendable plastic that will flex outward to let you know that you push them outward. The next thing you need to do is spin the actual entire plastic piece till it comes off. So you want to spin it either clockwise or counterclockwise. I don't know which way is better, but you need to get that plastic off of the metal. And the way you do it is pushing those 2 plastic circular indentions on the inside of the metal. So look inside the tube, you'll see it on the plastic where there are circular indentions pushed inside of the metal. You want to push those outward and then pull the entire plastic piece off. This might have sounded simple the way I explained it to you, but it is probably the hardest part, because it takes so much elbow grease. Rotate it a little bit. You'll see it looks like it flexed a little bit and it's not completely centered. As you can see there, I kind of moved it sideways a little bit because I know that the plastic indentions on the inside are no longer latched inside. I pushed them out and I turned it, so it looks like it's turned a little bit, but I ended up getting it off. Once you get it off, you want to take that plastic piece and put it into the top portion of the handle, and it should sit and move freely up and down that top portion. Now, here's a top tip. When you go to put that plastic piece on the top portion of the handle, you want to make sure you have a flat surface, because it does not look like it fits where it fits, but it does. I mean, it looks circular, but the lines don't look like they're lined. But if you have the facing the correct way, which is the red button part facing the correct way, and you have it on a flat surface, like I have it on this table, but the video that they showed me putting it on the ground. So they put it on the ground and I used the table. So please do not hurt yourself. I am not responsible for you breaking any of your equipment. That's another disclaimer. I am not responsible. Please be careful, be safe, and do what you think is right. But you're responsible. And I am not sponsored by Sekey, nor is this an official video. The next part is pretty simple. You're gonna put the spring into the little T metal piece, the T-shaped metal piece. That's what I'm calling that. You put the spring in there, kind of like a pin, right? You put that in there, and then you want to put it into that little T slot. Spring backwards. And you see how everything lines up like a little button now? This is actually your button that you press, and it actually helps lock everything in place. Some people like to hold this with their hands to make sure the spring doesn't spring out, but I was able to finesse it to where it sat where it needed to sit. All right, now this is going to take a little bit more elbow grease, but not as much. It's going to really be a seamless process here. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to slide the metal button piece back in place into that hole that's sitting on the bottom portion of the handle. So the next thing you would do is go ahead and screw your this whole handle assembly back in place, and then slide your red button back in place, and it'll just snap. You're responsible for your own gear, your own safety. I was able to do this perfectly fine without hurting myself. And make sure you like, subscribe, support the channel. We have a Cash App link in the description below, and stay tuned for the next video. I would definitely purchase any kind of Sekey Wagon in the future, and definitely I'm going to make another video about Sekey Wagons and how great they are. Stay tuned for the next video.